It's the Monday Morning Show. Today is July 25th, 2019, and I'm Ken LaSalle, novelist and writer of other stuff as well from kenlasalle.com. And as an author, I feel I should tell you that half of my time is usually spent doubting everything I do during the other half of my time. So however long it takes me to record this podcast, I'll spend just as much time later today thinking I'm an idiot for recording this podcast. This applies to YouTube videos as well. Next week, I'm probably going to film a video on the subject of Slurpees. I say probably because I still have several days to talk myself out of it. Because in my case, at least, I can't speak for all writers, I'm afraid of making a fool of myself. But according to my wife, that ship done sank long ago, so why not introduce a new series on this podcast as well, right? What could possibly go wrong? Now, for those of you who don't know, the first series I launched as a part of this podcast, DC Home, recently finished its first chapter of 15 episodes long, which is now available in audio from iTunes, Audible, Amazon, and so on. All 15 episodes remastered with additional material. Pick up a copy. You see, the key word today is monetization. You know about monetization, don't you? If you listen to podcasts or watch YouTube, you should. You really should. One of my goals, one of the goals for any author these days, is the monetization of content. Right? It's like newspaper websites trying to find a way to stop giving away the store for free. I've been giving away a lot of the store, and in the past year, I've been trying to move away from that. So, I developed DC Home, which is free to hear on this podcast, but also available for purchase if you liked it, or if you're feeling pity on a starving author. After 15 episodes, I really liked how it turned out. DC Home is my own twist on Prairie Home Companion. It's the story about people whose lives are directly affected by the folks in Washington. But I also like to talk about real issues on this podcast. I delve into the nonfiction aisle as well. And I asked myself, how can I develop a nonfiction counter to the fiction of DC Home? And I thought of a great name for it, very poetic and subtle and memorable. And promptly forgot that once I thought of another name, Talking Shit. Because I don't want to deliver lectures. I don't want to only talk politics. I want to discuss all the shit that makes us wonder. The shit that affects our lives. The shit that sits on my mind and makes me think, I gotta get this off my mind. I want to talk shit with you. I want to talk about all our shit. Thus the name, Talking Shit. But that's just a name. Why would you listen to a show with a name so, well, as my mother of 79 would put it, so vulgar? Is shit really a vulgar term in 2019? Would talking poo-poo or talking cocky-doody be any better? The fact is, shit is no longer one of the 7 dirty words. Amazon has over 20,000 books with the word shit in the title. Consider that for a minute. Over 20,000 book titles. When my mom wasn't looking, shit became positively mainstream. Okay, so let's look at talking shit beyond the name. What kind of shit am I going to be talking about? In the first 15 episodes, yes, I'll be recording these shows in 15 episode increments as well, you may hear me Talk shit about political appointments.
Talk shit about drug side effects.
Talk about the shit in the air.
Talk shit about the electoral
Talk
college.
shit about taking back our country.
Talk shit about the social media outrage
Talk
machine.
about normal political shit versus today's political
Talk
shit.
shit about being overloaded on news and media.
Talk shit about a pledge for
Talk
peace.
shit about ditching your high school reunion.
Talk shit about things happening for a reason.
Talk religious
Talk
shit.
shit about any possible hope for humanity.
Talk shit about speeding.
Talk shit about adultery.
And talk shit about art and artists.
Now, I know that's a lot of shit. That's actually more than 15 episodes of shit. I may not cover some of these topics. I may cover something completely different. I guess we'll both find out. Of course, this isn't my first foray into nonfiction. In Climbing Maya, I questioned the nature of success. In Dynamic Pluralism, I presented an easy-to-understand revolution in ethics. In Illumination, I simplified Buddhist teachings for a 21st century audience. And then there are my books of essays, all of these available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook, of course. I intend to bring the same dedication and respect to the issues and the research and even the views I present to you in Talking Shit. Don't let the title fool you. In some episodes, I will present solutions to modern problems. In others, I'll just present my own personal truth. I'll be sure to specify one from the other. But I believe there are some things we need to talk about, some things I need to talk about. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's break down the issues that sometimes plague us. Let's talk some shit. So, there you go. That's my pitch. The first episode of Talking Shit is coming next week. I do these 5 weeks in a row before taking a break. I don't know what this will be like, but I look forward to starting something new and hope you'll join me. Until next time, be good to yourself, be kind to others, and let's make this world a better place.